Hey, what's up guys? It's Dave from Cousins Paintball, and today we're going to talk about what to do if your paintball marker gets wet when you're playing. Thanks for sticking around, guys. It triggered in my mind. I was thinking about the conversations I had last week in Chicago at the NXL. Rained like the dickens on Sunday.
One day, it started raining, and it didn't quit for 4 months.
I was just thinking about it because I had the same conversation like 10 times with random people, but the internet allows us to have thousands of conversations with people. Basically, electronic guns nowadays are coated really well in the electronics. The grips are pretty good. They've been re-engineered 100 times, so now they seal from water getting in better than they used to, but now it's still not a perfect situation. You're gonna get wet on your boards when you're diving around in there. It's not a death sentence like it used to be nowadays though, especially if you clean it off and dry it off pretty quickly. I'm gonna show you what you would do on this LV2, but it's not too much different on anything else. Pretty much get the standing water off of it, dry it off, and then let it sit out and dry off. So yeah, we're gonna zoom in and take a look at it. So step one, you're gonna remove your grips. This is the biggest thing, because I literally was opening grips and water would pour out of them. It'd just be like, psh. And a little bit of me was impressed that the gun still worked, but like I said, all these boards are, they got a ton of sealant on them nowadays. But the biggest weak link on all of them is the plugs, because there has to be some opening to the electronics so the information or electricity or whatever gets to them. So first thing you do, open your grips, dry everything off, take your battery out. You don't want that battery sitting in there wet. Dry all that off. We'll pretend that my gun was super wet. Dry everything off, leave the grips off. If you have some compressed air like computer spray or something, just spray them down. That'll get a lot of the water off. In most cases, that'll be enough. Take your grips. This guy doesn't have any batteries in the front. It's what's it called? There's regulators up there, so it's not like the CS3 or whatever where you have electronics. But if you do have a gun that has electronics running through the top, drop the frame. In most cases, it's 2 screws nowadays. Take the screw off, take those screws off, drop your frame, dry everything off on there, like the CS3s, CS2s. There's boards up there, same thing with the, what's it called? It's the Luxes, there's a board up there. Keep that stuff dry. If there's not a board, there's connectors, etc. Dry that stuff off. If you want to get real anal, unplug your connections, dry that off, and then just leave it in a warm, dry place overnight. In most cases, that's going to remove the moisture you need to get rid of. That'll save 99% of the boards in the world. If you let them sit there wet and then turn your gun on 2 years later or 2 weeks later, it's going to be bad. The same thing. Eyes are electronic. If you let those guys just sit there with water on them, especially, dirty water, they're going to corrode. You're going to need to spend money that you don't need to spend. Open things up, let them dry out, wipe them off, get the dirt and sand out of them too while you're doing that. It's never a bad time to clean your gun, but just dry, warm air is good, and that'll keep the survivability of your electronics up significantly if you just dry them off. Simple stuff. Seems like it would be super obvious, but it's definitely not. So do that. You'll save yourself a lot of time and energy and money. Thanks for watching. If you like what we're doing, once again, subscribe, tell your friends, write a poem. It'll be cool. We'll have a contest. Enjoy.